Hey, so what is Link My Books? Today with us, Daniel Little. Dan, he's the founder and he knows Link My Books best, I believe. Yeah, man, would be nice to hear it from the source, sort of. And also in the description, we'll leave free trial of Link My Books to try it out and nice coupon code to save money, plus tutorials that we did with Dan previously for understanding how Link My Books works, a 30-minute video, which is for e-commerce sellers, and a 41-minute video for accountants and bookkeepers that are using Link My Books. All the links are in the description. Dan, good to have you here today with us. So, man, what is Link My Books, please?
Yeah. Well, thank you for the intro and thank you for having me on again, Vova. I would like to think that I know Link My Books the best since I started it 7 years ago and I've been living and breathing it for the last 7 years. So
Yeah.
what is Link My Books? Okay, so Link My Books is automated bookkeeping, which is accurate for e-commerce sellers. That's in a nutshell what we do. So if we take a little step back and just a bit more of a holistic view, what we do is we help e-commerce sellers and also accountants and bookkeepers who have e-commerce sellers to automate the bookkeeping for all of their channels. So we connect to, let me get this right, Amazon, Shopify, eBay, Etsy, WooCommerce, Square, TikTok Shop, and there's one more. There's
Walmart?
Walmart. That is the one. Yes,
Yes,
thank you.
sir.
So you know it better than me. And there's more coming as well. So if you sell on any of those channels, then we can connect to those channels and connect to your Xero or QuickBooks account, and we can be automating all of the bookkeeping process. So what that looks like is every time you receive a payout from one of those channels, we then detect that. We break down the transactions that were making up that payout into sales, refunds, fees, taxes, etc. We make sure that they're all categorized correctly for your accounts procedures and they've got the correct tax rates applied. And then we sync that information across to your Xero or QuickBooks account. And that's at a very top level what we do.
Thanks for sharing, man. Again, I'll remind the audience, viewers, listeners in the description, we're going to have a free trial to try it out, to test it out, and a nice discount. But the users that mostly come to you, say from e-commerce sellers' point of view, are these beginners? Are they people who have already started selling? Or maybe after a while they come to you? I know you have also bigger clients as well, but what do you typically see? What type of seller that is?
It's quite a mix, to be honest, Vova. So we do have some new sellers who just want to get things right from the beginning. So they want to make sure that they can focus on growing the business rather than spending all the time trying to download data from the sales channels and understand bookkeeping. A lot of these businesses, it might be their first business, so they might not even understand how to do
Mm.
bookkeeping correctly. So we do have some customers like that. I would say the vast majority of our customers are ones that are slightly bigger than that. So they've been selling for, let's say, a year and they've been doing it manually themselves and they realize that it's just very time consuming to do the bookkeeping, that their accountant is asking them for all sorts of extra information that they don't really know how to get. They're
Mm.
not 100% confident that their accounts are accurate and they're just looking for a solution that can just take this headache off their plate. And then, yeah, as you said, we have some really, really large businesses like well-known brands who do like 1 million orders per month across all their channels. And so those we support as well. I think as you get bigger and bigger, you gain more and more value from Link My Books because we're
Yeah.
saving you more and more time. We're making sure that your stuff is accurate. And so as a small seller, accuracy, if you get it wrong, that can mean a small mistake. A big seller, get accuracy wrong, that can mean a big mistake. So as we scale, we're not just saving you time, but we're also making sure that we're avoiding you paying too much tax, paying too little tax, accounting for the wrong things, making sure that you're doing your bookkeeping correctly, basically.
Yeah, well, thanks for sharing, man. And again, the tutorials that show how to use Link My Books are in the description, how to connect it. We kind of do a step-by-step process in that video to show you, the viewer, basically how to get it set up fast and easy in a step-by-step manner so you can, connect it quickly. So we covered it in this video. This is one video. The second video, which is my kind of follow-up question as well, we have a video for accountants and bookkeepers that are managing e-commerce sellers. So we have a 41-minute tutorial with Daniel about like my books for accountants and bookkeepers. But my question is, man, what does it mean? Like what type of accountants and bookkeepers then come to you? We said sellers, yeah, it can be smaller sellers or bigger sellers. And as you said, mistakes, of course, no one wants to make them. But for a bigger seller, a mistake is like might be just bigger, potentially bigger. For smaller sellers, smaller. So we all want to avoid it. So you have different types of and sizes of sellers. But with accountants and bookkeepers for e-commerce sellers, who are these people like usually? Because we might have people that are
Yeah.
accountants and bookkeepers listening to us now. Yeah.
So it can come into two camps. So one can be your accountants and bookkeepers who are dealing with all sorts of clients. So they're not just dealing with e-commerce. They can have like builders and butchers and bakers and all sorts of different businesses that are using them locally as an accountant or bookkeeper. And then maybe they've only got a couple or one e-commerce client and it's a new area for them. Obviously, they're used to dealing with local businesses that have local tax questions, and now they're dealing with an e-commerce business that has international tax questions, so it becomes complicated. There's a lot of moving parts with e-commerce accounting. So they come to us to look for a solution to basically take away that headache and be able to serve this client without spending lots and lots of hours trying to work it all out. And then the other side of things is we have practices where they either have a branch or they entirely focus on e-commerce. And so they might have 100, 200, 300 e-commerce clients where that is their bread and butter. They only serve those clients. And so they know the value of Link My Books is that it can make it so that they can spend less time gathering the data from the sales channels and more time actually advising the clients where they make money on advisory services instead of wasting time gathering reports from hundreds of clients. Now, what we've also got recently, and which will probably be helpful for both e-commerce sellers and also accountants, is we've just this week launched a new functionality to be able to create a demo account with Link My Books. So what I thought I could do today, Vova, is I could share my screen and I could show you what that looks like, because one of the questions we get quite often is, can I see a demo of how this all works? And until
Yeah.
now, it's been no. You have to basically connect your own sales channel and connect your own Xero QuickBooks account, and then you can play around with it in Link My Books. And whilst we don't send anything to Xero QuickBooks until you're ready, a lot of customers just they want to have a little play around before they connect up their own stuff.
Yeah, please connect the screen. And meanwhile, I want to say that, remind our audience we have the free trial of Link My Books and the best coupon code to save money in the description. So thank you for using the link. It's an affiliate link, means that if you ever do business with Dan and Link My Books, I'm going to get a little commission from that at no extra cost to you. So thank you. This helps keep our content free. And also, then I want to tell to you, man, that I think demo is a very nice idea. And I work with some softwares in the space. They have demo, and it's a very popular feature, and they have very good retention of clients. And I think for the clients or for viewers listening, I think, yeah, they sometimes, before using the software, if they get a good demo, yeah, they just understand better. Like, that's all I can say. They understand better. And I guess from the psychological side, it's a little bit of more commitment into using the tool. So people might join, of course, and stay for a while longer, or just stay or become clients. So I think it's good for everyone in this sense. So yeah, just my feedback. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, no, I think we're excited to see how people take it up. But here, what I've done is I've created a demo UK-based account. Now,
Mhm.
when a customer comes to us, they basically will sign in and create a user account first with just their, they can connect with Google, with Xero, with QuickBooks, just like sign in, nothing
Mhm.
connected yet. And
Mhm.
then on the first step, instead of them connecting one of their own channels, they can
Mhm.
choose an option at the bottom that say create a demo account.
Mhm.
At
Mhm.
that point, they'll be given an option to create a UK, US, or Australian account. They are the three regions that we basically support businesses in. So
Mhm.
I've created a UK one just as an example here. And here I am on the main settlement dashboard. So we were talking before about what Link My Books does. And if you think about this is a payout from, in our case, LMB Shop. Let's just imagine it's an Amazon account, for example.
Mhm.
So this is a payout from Amazon for £318.49, and it's for this date range of transactions. So if we view that, we can see what Link My Books is actually doing in the background. So
Mhm.
this £318, if you were just to account for that as revenue, then it's incorrect, because of that £318, you've got all these different transactions that make it up. So you've got some sales of products that are being shipped to the UK, and that was 300 odd pounds. And what's important here is these are zero rated products, which means that there's no tax to pay on those. They're like a specific type of product. It could be baby products or food or something like that. So those we're going to put in the sales account, but we're going to apply no tax to. Then you got some sales that are being shipped outside the UK. And those are also going to be zero rated because there's no tax to pay on exports either. And then finally, you've got some sales that have gone to the UK, which are for standard rated products, and those are going to have VAT on them. So of that £318 that was received into the bank, what's that, like £600 worth of sales? So if you just accounted for that 300, you've now way under declared your turnover. And also, you've only actually had to pay VAT on £100 and odd pounds worth of the sales, and you've got £500 worth of sales, which are actually zero rated. So even if you had
Mm.
been accounting for all of your sales correctly, and you just bulked all those together, then it would be wrong then as well. Plus, then you got a whole load of like fees and commissions and refunds and some other like shipping items, and all of those are going into the correct accounts with the correct tax rates. And so from either this page or from the home page, we can send that to Xero. So we can do as a single transaction, we can say, right, we want to send that report to Xero. And what that'll do is it'll then mean that now we've got all of that data is in your Xero account, in the correct accounts with the correct tax rates. And on your bank feed in Xero, it'll look like this. You'll receive the bank deposit for 300 odd pounds, and you'll have the transaction report that we've just sent across to Xero from Link My Books. And all you need to do is click the OK button in the middle, and that's it. And this is just an example showing you what it will look like. The real user would click visit Xero and they would go and be able to do that. But obviously we're not going to do that today. Now that's sending manually. Now what we can also do once we realize that this is just effectively a set and forget thing, once you've set this up, you don't really need to log back in. So we can, in the settlement settings, we can turn on automation and we can say auto post settlements and we can choose a start date we want to do it from. So if, for example, you've already done the bookkeeping up to the 31st of March, put in the 1st of April in this box, click save, and that'll mean that any settlements that are dated after the 1st of April will automatically get posted across, plus any future ones. So it just means that your bookkeeping is just on autopilot because we are collecting all the data from the sales channel and sales channels if you sell across multiple, and we are pushing it through into Xero. And all that it takes is just a really simple setup. And I'll not go through that today, but we did cover it in the other video that we did with Vova, which I think is going to be linked below. So what I would encourage people to do now that we've got this free demo option is to sign up for a free trial, and then instead of connecting your own sales channels, if you don't want to just continue and do that, then create a demo account and have a little play around. You can play around with all the settings. You can send stuff across to Xero and you can have a look at how everything looks. And then when you're ready, you just come into this top menu up here and you just say add a new account and you add your real account. I can actually show you what that looks like because this is what you'll look on the normal page. It supports all the channels. And this is where you would create the demo account at the bottom. So that's what it would look like when you first log into Link My Books. So I just thought I would show you that because it's quite new. I think it'll be quite a good way for people to just experience what the software can do.
Great. Thanks for sharing, man. And again, all the links are in the description, free trial, best discount, all the tutorials that show how to use the tool. And yeah, in my opinion, great idea. Demo account, always nice to play around with. And users can maybe, based on the playing with the account, ask questions in the support, right? So it's like, you get to interact with the software earlier in a way and faster because otherwise it would have taken a little bit of time, right, to get connected and all that. So cool. Then, do you think we should showcase the pricing quickly to interested people to have understand like how much is it for e-commerce sellers if they have multiple channels, right? If someone has, Amazon and Shopify, for example, we have also multi kind of platform e-commerce sellers listening and some are just only Amazon sellers. So now we're looking at e-commerce. This is the pricing page, by the way. We'll link it in the description as well for our listeners, viewers, everyone. So we're in the pricing page. It's updated, right? I feel we changed a little.
Yeah, we've updated this as well. So it's linkmybooks.com/pricing is the link, but obviously the links are also below in the description below. So in terms of how the pricing works, it works on two things. One is the order count that you have across all of the channels that you want to connect to Link My Books, and the other is the number of channels that you're going to connect. So let's take an example here. Let's look at, imagine I'm selling on Amazon and Shopify, and then I also have some TikTok shop. So I've got three sales channels.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put a three in this box because I've got three sales channels. And
Mm-hmm.
then let's assume that I'm a sort of medium-sized seller. I'm doing 4,500 orders a month. That's
Mm-hmm.
going to be £59 a month for totally automated bookkeeping. If you're paying in pounds, if you're paying in dollars, 75, and if you're paying in Australian dollars, 116.
Mm-hmm.
So we have pricing available in the three currencies as well.
Nice.
Now, let's take another example. Let's take a smaller seller this time. So let's say they are doing, I don't know, 900 orders a month and they're only selling on one channel.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's going to be £32 a month. So now you can have US dollars 41 and 63 for the Australian side of things. And if you're a really big seller, let's say you're
Mm-hmm.
doing 24,000 orders a month and you're selling across, let's say, 10 sales channels, like you're really big,
Mm-hmm.
like £203 a month, US dollars 258 and Australian 396. Now, we talked before about e-commerce sellers being one of our ICPs, or initial ideal customer profiles, and then the other one being accountants and bookkeepers who service those customers. Now, for accountants and bookkeepers, the way the pricing works is if an accountant comes to us and say they have 10 clients, and let's say that each of those clients sells on three sales channels. So they've all got an Amazon, an eBay, and an Etsy, let's say. And each of those clients is doing, let's say, 2,000 orders. So that would mean that in total, so each of those, let's work it out for each of them first. So each of those clients, if they paid us individually, would pay £51 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So as an accountant, you would probably be thinking, okay, well, if I've got 10 of those clients, it's going to be £510 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's two ways to do the accountant billing. One is you can get the client to pay us directly, and therefore it would be £51 a month. The client pays us directly. But if we just add a zero to both of these things, then what you'll see is if the accountant pays us directly and they use 20,000 orders across those 10 clients, and they have 30 sales channels connected because each of those 10 clients has three channels, then it's £374 a month. So the accountant saves on the volume. So as they add more and more clients to the plan, it becomes less and less expensive per client, which means they can either pass the discount on to the client so that they can just recharge
Mm-hmm.
this at £37.40 per client, which means the
Mm-hmm.
client is saving like £15. Or they could rebill it to the client at the full price of 51, because if the client came to us directly, they would pay 51 and then the accountant can make a bit of a kickback on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Or what most of the accountants who are the really large e-commerce ones do is they just pay this as a cost of doing business. And then they have their plans that are for e-commerce sellers. They might say, if you're doing up to 1 million in turnover, it's £300 a month, and that includes a Xero account and a Link My Books account. And so they include it in their pricing. So there's a few options there for accountants as well. All of the plans come with a lot more things underneath as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of like information about all the channels we support,
Mm-hmm.
all the different features that are included. Obviously, the financial analytics and the industry benchmarking is pretty new, so I'm not sure we covered that in the last videos we did, or did we?
We did, and to that specific part, if I remember correctly, we did. I will link in a way a specific timestamp link in the description so people can learn about this specifically. Yeah,
Cool.
like this helps like on the consulting side, as you've said, right? If I recall, like the benchmarking, you can tell us a little bit about it, yeah, just to explain.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
it's
can just
covered.
quickly
Yeah.
show it. Yeah. So if we have a look at analytics, financial analytics, this is like a good way for you to be able to choose a date range, choose one or all of your sales channels, or some of them if you've got multiple connected, and then you can have a look at your sales, your refund as a percentage of your sales, your profit margin, your return on investment, the total tax liability that you have if you're a UK customer, and then like a little P&L breakdown of all the different types of revenue, all the different types of fees, and then your profit margins at the bottom. And then if you do have multiple sales channels connected, then you would be able to see those beside each other. So you would be able to have a look at a glance like my Amazon versus my eBay versus my Etsy account. How is that looking? Which one has the biggest refunds? Which one is making the most profit? Like it's giving you the opportunity to be able to spend your time wisely and your investments wisely. So like if you're selling across three channels, it's really important that you know which is the most profitable, because if you do, then you can spend a lot of time to work out one, why is it more profitable and can I do that across my other
Mm.
channels? And two, let's spend more time making that channel grow because it's the most profitable one. For UK customers, we then have a little VAT audit where it breaks down the revenue and expenses into the tax rate. So that's the financial analytics side, that's your own business. The industry benchmarking is effectively your business versus other businesses that are using Link My Books, but on an anonymized basis.
Yes.
So this is just a demo account, so there's no actual cohort
Mhm.
data, but this is what it would look like. It would show you that the average business of your size on Link My Books
Mm.
grew their sales by 0% in this example, and you grew your sales for the period by 37%. So you're in the top 25%. For fee ratio, the average business is 30% of their revenue goes towards fees. Yours is 38. So
Mm.
this is in the lower 50%. And then
Mhm.
what you can do is if you think actually I need to do better at that, you can click this link here and
Mhm.
it'll tell you how we calculate that,
Mm.
and then also 10 things that the best sellers are doing in order to reduce that. So you can have a read through
Wow.
that at your own pace and find out ways to improve that. And we do the refund ratio, the advertising fee ratio, and then the growth trend on the refunds as well. And there's more of these metrics that are coming soon. We're looking at adding in storage fees and long-term storage fees for Amazon sellers because I think they are something you can definitely do something about. And this is based on feedback. So the more people tell us actually we need this ratio, then the more we can add it in as well. So that's a very quick overview of analytics
Mhm.
and industry benchmark. And I know we covered it in more
Yes.
detail in the previous video.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Analytics then, are they part of the free account, demo account, or the demo account specifically just for the
Yeah,
yeah,
all part of the
awesome.
demo account. So I'm still in the demo account at the moment, and this
There you
is
go.
all
There you
just
go.
demo data. So yeah, you can play with everything. So
Wow.
the whole suite of product you can play with on the demo account.
Nice. I think would be good idea to share again with the audience in the description. We have free trial link. There's the discount in case you would love to become a customer in the future. There's a nice 50% off for 3 months. I think it's a good way to start and get a nice discount. And it's a long-term discount, 3 months. You can really see the value. Yeah, get a free trial, check out the demo account, and then, then or before or after this, you can connect your sales channels and everything. But definitely the demo account, play around, see what it offers, enjoy. And yeah, thank you for using the link in the description if you choose to do so. An affiliate link, as I mentioned, it helps me keep the content free. And then we don't get paid for these interviews. It's based on friendships, on relationships. And this way we kind of grow together. I feel also the anonymized data that you do, man, Dan, like it's interesting way for the community sort of to grow together without sharing all the details, but in an anonymized way. I think it's nice. Let's say you see that you're just living your life, you're having a nice business, but your refund ratio is, let's say, 10%. I wouldn't say it's high or low. To me, it's high. And when Amazon, we're on about like
Yeah,
around 3%. Yeah. But like, let's
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
for someone, they're still like, their life is good, they're profitable, but their refund rate is like on the background, killing a little bit of the profitability. They're not even sure, but then they see this against the industry. They see like, wait, like, okay, I'm doing well, but I'm on 10%. If I reduce it to five even, then the profits like skyrocket sort of, right? So yeah, I think it's
Yeah, yeah.
nice thing too, so yeah.
I think it's
Oh.
good to spot opportunities. That's the way I see it. It's
Mhm.
as you say, like you tend to get blinded on your own business,
Yeah.
and because nobody wants to talk about their own financials with other businesses, which makes sense, it almost needs to be done by someone like Link My Books in an anonymized fashion, so that you can then see, okay, well, this is my business and this is the market. So I can see where I am in relation to the rest of the market, and I can then do something about my worst metrics and feel powerful about my best metrics.
Thanks for sharing, man. Yeah, again, all the links are in the description. Here on the YouTube end screen, we're going to have one tutorial for Link My Books for e-commerce sellers and one tutorial for Link My Books for accountants and bookkeepers. Thanks for your time, Dan. I think it was a good video. And yeah, thanks for everyone watching.
Thanks for